Bonjour and good morning. Welcome to WASA Distance Education and PLAR English. And today we're going to be finishing up Lesson 1. And next week we'll move on to Lesson 2. So of course that means that you need to finish up all of the key questions in Lesson 1 and have them sent out to me by Friday or early next week so that then you can focus on Lesson 2. The rest of the lessons 2, 3, 4, and 5 are much shorter than lesson 1, so we will be moving through those fairly quickly. So again, make sure you have all the key questions for lesson 1 completed and sent out to me as soon as possible. So classes, of course, Mondays and Wednesdays from 11 to 12 Central Standard Time. You can participate in classes in 2 ways. So you can participate on radio or via Zoom. So radio, call into the studio. If you can't get on to Zoom, then call into the radio. At least that way you can hear what's going on. But if you can participate on Zoom, it's better because you can actually see and hear what's going on. And the information, the codes, the passcode and everything is in your study guide. So check there. If you don't have it, then contact me or your DEC to get those codes. All PLAR English students are welcome to attend classes, so it doesn't matter what you signed up for. If you signed up for Radio Zoom or if you signed up for IL, you can still attend the classes or listen to the recorded classes because they are meant as a tutorial to help you get through the work. To contact me, you can use email, phone, or send a message on Facebook. Most students do contact me through Facebook, so that's probably the easiest way. Students working on the PLAR from last year can keep working on the key questions and continue to submit them to your teacher. And the PLAR classes from last year are still available on YouTube and will be updated as I record new classes. So if you're working ahead of where we are in class and you go to YouTube, you will find the classes from last year that will help you with wherever you are, whatever you're working on. Okay. For this year, we've started something new with the PLAR, and that is that all PLAR students have the opportunity to write the culminating activity, which is basically the test, before doing the lessons with the key questions. So you don't have to do the lessons. You can just go ahead and if you think, like if you're good at English or math or science or history, geography, if you feel confident in those areas, then instead of going through the lessons and then writing the test, you can just write the test. And then if you pass, excuse me, the culminating activity, you don't have to do the lessons, key questions. You can skip that, and then you can just move on to the next subject. So if you're not successful with the culminating activity, so if you don't get a 50 or better in the culminating activity, then you will have to do the lessons and complete the key questions just so that you get the practice that you need so that you can write a second culminating activity once you've finished all the lessons, and hopefully you will be successful second time around. So that option is there for all PLAR students. Okay, in your lessons, you will notice that there are 2 types of questions. There are support questions and key questions. So the support questions are practice questions for you to do before you do the key question. The answers to the support questions are near the end of the lesson. The page is titled Answers to Support Questions. So you do a support question, then go to the end of the lesson, check your answers against the answers that are there. And if you're doing really well, with the support questions, then you move on to the key questions. If you're struggling with the support questions, then you need to go back, review the material in the lesson, or contact me for help, or watch the class again, whatever's going to help you, or maybe even all 3. And then do the key questions. Otherwise, if you just go ahead and skip the support questions and do the key questions, you send them out to me, you get it, I'll make a lot of mistakes, then I'm just going to send it back to you and ask you to redo it. Okay, make corrections and resubmit. So it's better to get it right the first time around. Okay, so support questions, do them before you do the key questions. and only the key questions are to be submitted for marking. Okay, if you send me the support questions, I'm just going to send them back to you and say, check the answers at the end of the lesson. Okay, so make sure it's only the key questions that you're submitting, and make sure that you start working on the key questions right away. Okay, and then don't wait until you've finished an entire lesson before you submit them. Submit them as you do them, a couple a day or whatever. Okay, speaking of submitting, there are several different ways to submit your work. The first way, of course, is to give it to your DEC, and your DEC will send it out to us here in Sioux Lookout. If your learning center is closed or your DEC is away, then you can submit your own work. You can scan and email, so if you have access to a scanner, scan and email your own work, and then scan your own work and then email it to studentwork@nnec.on.ca. Make sure you get the address right so that we get it. And make sure you CC it to me as well. Okay, my email address is on the front cover of all of the lessons. It's also in your study guide. Or if you have access to a fax machine, you can fax your work out to us here in Sioux Lookout. If you're sending your own work, be sure that you include your name on your work. Okay, we need to know who it's coming from. And sometimes we can't figure that out from your email because not everybody's email name matches their actual name. So make sure you include your name on the work that you are submitting and the course. Okay, so the course code. PLAR Math, PLAR English, PLAR Science, PLAR History, Geography, whatever it is. Make sure you put that on there as well. Okay, so your name, course code, and you can also include the teacher's name as well. Okay, if you don't have access to a scanner or a fax machine, then you can use your smartphone to either take photos of your work or scan your work. Okay, one or the other. So make sure that you either scan it, take photos, or scan your work, and then you email it to same address, studentwork@nnec.on.ca, and CC it to me, or you can send it to me using Facebook Messenger. Okay, and I see we have somebody joining our class today, Lillian. Hi Lillian, welcome to class. Okay, where'd my class go? Okay, why can't I get back here? Oh, there we go. Huh. I'm back. Okay. Let's close that off. Okay. Why is my screen so small? What's going on here? What happened? Oh, there we go. Now I'm back. Finally. Okay. So, yeah, so you can send your work out different ways. Also, another way is if you are in Sioux Lookout or surrounding area, so if you're coming to Sioux Lookout, you can use our outdoor mailbox that's located in the parking lot between the WASA and the post office, or you can knock on the front door and drop your work off to whoever answers the front door. You can also use Google Docs, so you can do your work in using a Google document and then send me the link, and then you share the document with me, and I will be able to mark it that way. I can print it and mark it. And then the last option is to use Google Classroom. Google Classroom, you can go completely paperless. You can do the work and submit the work, and I can mark the work all online, or you can just look online to view the work and then use lined paper and submit it that way. Whatever works better for you. So lots of options for submitting your work to me. Okay, so we're going to start off with a review of what we did on Monday. So on Monday we focused on, or we continued talking about sentences, and we focused on combining sentences. So ways of putting your sentences together so that they flow more and that your writing sounds more mature, so that your writing is not short, choppy sentences. There are lots of different ways to combine. So combining sentences encourages us to take two or more short, choppy sentences and combine them into one effective sentence to make our writing more readable and engaging. Okay, so one way, we talked about these before, is to produce a compound sentence using conjunctions. So conjunctions are the words that we use like and, but, because. So for example, we've got these two short sentences. The weather was perfect. The girls were playing soccer. So instead of having two short, choppy sentences, we can join them together. The weather was perfect, comma, and the girls were playing soccer. Okay. Next, producing compound subjects and objects. So for example, the book was good, the movie was good. Okay, they were both good, so we can simply say the book and the movie were good. Okay, so instead of two short, choppy sentences, we combine them to make a more interesting, longer sentence. But again, you don't want to make your sentences too long because then you end up with a run-on sentence. And we talked about that on last week on Wednesday. And number 3, inserting adjectives and adverbs. So for example, the girl drank lemonade, the girl was thirsty, so taking those two short, choppy sentences and combining them to the thirsty girl drank lemonade. Okay, so instead of saying the girl was thirsty, we can take the adjective thirsty and put it in front of the girl, because the girl is the one that's thirsty, so we're saying the thirsty girl drank lemonade. So think about how you're wording your sentences, and this is something that you should be focusing on when you're writing sentences, especially when you're writing paragraphs. Because when we start writing paragraphs, and we're going to talk about paragraph writing today, a lot of times we just want to get our ideas down, so we use a lot of short, choppy sentences just to get our ideas on paper. But then, with the writing process, what we need to do is, after we've got all of our ideas down, and we think we're finished our paragraph, then we need to go back, look at what we've written, and see if there are things that we can change. For example, combining some of the short, choppy sentences so that our writing sounds more mature. So this is one thing to look for when you're editing, revising and editing your writing. Okay, so back to our topics. So we've done everything now for key questions 1 to 8. That's finished. And so today we are going to be focusing on writing an information paragraph. So how to do put our ideas together to make a paragraph. So taking a bunch of sentences and combining them. So on the bottom of page 39 in your lesson is information about paragraph writing. So page 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, and 45. Actually 44 is support question 17. So again, you're going to write a paragraph. Make sure you do this before, and then you're going to check at the end of the lesson for, there will be a sample paragraph for the answers to the support question. And once you've done that, if you've done well with your paragraph, you're happy with it, then you go ahead and do support question, or sorry, key question 9. But for now, let's look at what a paragraph is. So the purpose of a paragraph is to express a speaker's thoughts on a particular point in a clear way that is unique and specific to that paragraph. When a new idea is introduced, generally the writer will introduce a new paragraph. Okay, so there's information in your lesson on paragraph writing, and this is just basically, if you're wondering where this information is, it's not in your lesson. This is extra information. This is your tutorial. So this is covering the same material that's in your lesson, but doing it in a different way. So that's what a paragraph is. It's a way of expressing a speaker's thoughts on a particular point, a particular idea. So there is a basic paragraph structure. So all paragraphs are basically written the same way. So first of all, we have a topic sentence. So the topic sentence introduces the topic of the paragraph. It lets the reader know what the paragraph is about, but it doesn't say, so when you're writing your topic sentence, you don't say, I am going to write about my new pet dog. Okay, you make a statement about your pet dog. So you would say, my new pet is a dog. That's your topic sentence. You don't say, like I said, you're not saying, starting off by saying, I am going to write about. Or a lot of people will basically think that their topic sentence is a title. My new dog. Okay, my new dog is a title. It's not a topic sentence. Okay, so you could say, my new dog is lots of fun, or my new dog is crazy. So you're making a statement about your pet. So a good topic sentence will be broad enough to allow for explanation, but narrow enough that it does not require a paragraph that is too long. So if you say, my new dog is lots of fun, then you're letting me, the reader, know that your paragraph is going to be about your dog and what it does for fun, or why you think your dog is fun. You're not going to tell me, give me a description about what your dog looks like. You're not going to tell me where you got him, those things. That will be a different paragraph. If you say, my dog is lots of fun, then your paragraph is only about what it is that's making your dog be fun, or why you think your dog is fun. Okay, so then once you've got your topic sentence, one sentence, then you're going to write supporting sentences. So now the supporting sentences are the sentences where you tell me why you think your dog is fun. So the supporting sentences are the sentences between the topic sentence and the concluding sentence. They're basically the body of your paragraph. So if you're thinking about like a hamburger, the supporting sentences are the meat and the lettuce and the tomatoes that's inside the bun. The supporting sentences support the topic sentence. That means they might give examples about your topic sentence. Okay, explain your topic sentence or give more information about, so more examples or information, and explain things. So they explain and elaborate the point of the paragraph. So this is where you might say, my dog loves to play with squeaky toys. My dog also loves to chase the frisbee. He can do it for hours until he falls down from exhaustion. My dog also likes to race around the room. So you're telling me what it is your dog does for fun, or what you think your dog does for fun, or what makes you happy, those types of things in the supporting sentences. Okay, and then finally we have the concluding sentence. So the concluding sentence is really fairly easy, because your concluding sentence, it's the last sentence in your paragraph. It lets the reader know that I'm done talking about this topic now. But it should end the paragraph and transition to the next paragraph if appropriate. So if you're writing more paragraphs about your dog, it will transition. If not, then you're going to end the paragraph. And the way we end the paragraph is by going back up to the topic sentence. So if your topic sentence was my new dog is a lot of fun, then your concluding sentence is going to be very similar to that. Your concluding sentence might be, let me make sure I can see it, I love how much fun I have with my new dog. Okay, so same idea. The idea that the dog is a lot of fun, but you're just saying it in a different way. Okay, so that's your topic sentence. My new dog is a lot of fun. Then in between, you're telling all the ways that your dog is a lot of fun. And then at the end, I love how much fun I have with my new dog. So that is basically a paragraph. That's how you write a paragraph. Okay, so other features of a paragraph. So that's getting your ideas down on paper, saying what you want to say. But there are other things that you have to think about when you're writing a paragraph. One thing is unity and coherence. So the ideas in a paragraph should logically fit together. So they should flow from one idea to the next. A paragraph should be organized in a way that it builds appropriately. This could be by sequence of ideas or events. Additionally, transitions should be used from one sentence to the next that connect the ideas and concepts. So unity and coherence, you're making sure that, like I said, if your paragraph is about how much fun your dog is, your supporting sentences are only about how much fun your dog is. They're not about what your dog looks like or where you got your dog or when you got your dog. Only about fun. Okay, next is adequate development. So you want to make sure that you have put enough information in there that the reader feels like, okay, now I know how much fun that dog is. Similarly, the paragraph should include enough evidence to support its topic sentence. So generally, with adequate development, that we say 3 to 5 sentences about your topic. Okay, 3 to 5 sentences should be adequate to give the reader the information, or give me the information that I need about the dog. Okay, question that a lot of people want to know. How long is a paragraph? Well, there is no set length to a paragraph. Paragraphs need to be long enough to express any given idea, so long enough to thoroughly explain the topic sentence. A general rule of thumb is to begin with a topic sentence, so that's one sentence. Develop that topic well with evidence, examples, and explanations. So like I said, 3 to 5 sentences, and conclude the paragraph appropriately. That's another sentence. So you're looking at 5 to 7 sentences. But that's not a set rule. Okay, you must have your topic sentence, and you must have your concluding sentence, and then depending on how much you know about your topic or how much you want to say about your topic, you could have more than 5 sentences in the middle. You might have 6 or 7 sentences. So it depends on how much information you have or how much information you want to share. But again, it needs to be at least 5 sentences. So you got your topic sentence, your concluding sentence, and 3 details in the middle. But it can be longer. Okay, so that's a general paragraph, and there are lots of different types of paragraphs. There's lots of different types of writing we can do. So we can tell people about something or how to do something. That's what we call an information paragraph. Other paragraphs can describe something. So, tell what their summer vacation was like, what they did on their summer vacation. That's a descriptive paragraph. Other paragraphs might be personal, kind of more like journaling. So lots of personal things getting in there. Okay, so there's lots of different types of paragraph. So for our key question 9, we're going to focus on the information paragraph, giving information. So an informative paragraph must be at least 5 sentences again, because otherwise you're not going to get enough information in there. It must also have a topic sentence, at least 3 supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. So the first thing to do to write an information paragraph is to first of all determine your topic. What are you going to write about? And sometimes this is the most difficult thing for people to do. To try to figure out, what am I going to write about? What do I know enough about? What do I have enough information about that I can write about it? So again, it's an information paragraph, so you're giving information. So the point of an informative paragraph is to give the reader new information or explain how to do something. So generally, when we're writing an information paragraph, we don't say I. So we won't say I do this or I do that. Okay? You would say when you're doing, making moccasins, you do this. Or make sure you have this material. Okay, so you don't use the word I. Next, determine the subject of your paragraph. Okay, what's the subject? For example, if you decide that you're going to write about trucks, what is it you're going to say about trucks? You might discuss the different types of trucks on the market, or which truck is better, or what trucks can be used for. Okay, so trucks is a very broad topic. So what about trucks do you want to say? Okay, it's like hunting. It's a very broad topic. What do you want to hunt for? So then you would focus on geese or moose. So think of a topic and then think of the subject. Narrow it down because it's a paragraph. So you don't want it to be long. Number 3, let the reader know. So this is where you write your topic sentence. So form your topic sentence to let the reader know what your paragraph will be about. If your paragraph is about the uses for trucks, the topic sentence might read, trucks have a lot of uses. Okay, so if that's what you want to talk about, what you can use trucks for, you're not going to say, I'm going to talk about the uses for trucks. So like I said, you don't say that in your topic sentence. You just make a statement about trucks. So trucks have a lot of uses. Okay, so that's your topic sentence, and then you're going now to write your supporting sentences. So what are some of the uses of trucks? So write at least 3 sentences to support your topic sentence. For example, trucks can be used. So these are the things that I'm going to write about trucks. Okay, when I said they have a lot of uses. One use is trucks can be used to haul wood for the winter. Second use, trucks are also good if you're moving from one house to another. And I'm explaining this a little bit because you can take a lot of boxes in one trip. And then next use for trucks, trucks are good for hunting too. And explaining it a little bit, especially if you're hunting for a moose. So you have a lot of room to carry it. Okay, so I've got my 3 uses: haul wood, moving, hunting. And I've talked a little bit about them. I'm not just saying trucks can be used to haul wood and move and hunt. I'm elaborating on a little bit. I'm giving more information. Trucks can be used to haul wood for the winter. Trucks are also good if you're moving from one house to another because you can take a lot of boxes in one trip. And trucks are good for hunting too, especially if you're hunting for moose. So I've got my 3 sentences, but I've said a little bit more than just what the 3 uses are. And then number 5, write a concluding sentence. So remember what I said. Think back to your topic sentence. What was my topic sentence? Trucks have a lot of uses. So how can I reword that? Well, I can say trucks are multi-purpose vehicles. Okay, so same idea, just saying it in a different way. So now here is my finished paragraph. You can see it's not very long. Trucks have a lot of uses. They can be used to haul wood for the winter. They are also good if you're moving from one house to another because you can take a lot of boxes in one trip. Trucks are good for hunting too, especially if you're hunting for moose. In conclusion, so this is my transition phrase here. In conclusion, trucks are multi-purpose vehicles that we can use for many reasons. Okay, so there's my sentence, my information paragraph about trucks. Okay, and so some of the changes that I made, so when I first started, so if you look back at right 3 sentences, I said trucks can be used to haul wood for the winter. Trucks are also good if you're moving. Trucks are good for hunting too. But in my paragraph, when I wrote my final copy, I said trucks have a lot of uses, and I'm talking about trucks, so I'm saying they can be used to haul wood for the winter. They are also good if you're moving from one house to another. And then I repeated trucks are good for hunting too. Okay, so changing, instead of saying trucks, I'm using the pronoun they in place of trucks because that's what my paragraphs is about, and I can use that pronoun instead of repeating trucks over and over again. Okay, so those are some of the things that you look for when you write your paragraph. And you should always, after, like I said, you get your ideas down on paper, then you need to always go back and see if there are any mistakes, anything that you can fix. Okay, you need to know how to fix your writing, not just write it, but to go back and edit it and make it sound better or make it work better. Okay, here's another example of an information paragraph. So expository or information paragraph, sometimes people will call it an expository paragraph, other times it's an information paragraph. So this type of paragraph provides an explanation and guidance. So tells you about something or tells you how to do something. It may also explain how to do something and lead the reader through each step. So for example, if you were baking a cake, okay, so you might start by saying, baking a cake is easy. And then you tell the steps. First, you need to gather your supplies. You know, those types of things. This kind of paragraph needs a lot of research by the writer. Depends on what you're talking about. But they may also rely on their own experience and knowledge. So sometimes you might have to do research when you're writing a paragraph. Other times you might have the knowledge already. So here's an example of an information paragraph. All toilet flush tanks work about the same. So when I read that topic sentence, I know that this paragraph is going to be about how a toilet flush tank works. When the toilet is flushed, the trip handle lifts the tank ball, opening the outlet and letting water flow into the bowl. When the tank is nearly empty, the ball falls back in place over the outlet. The float falls with the water level, opening the water supply inlet valve just as the outlet is being closed, and the tank is refilled through the filler tube. Water also flows through the bowl refill tube into the overflow pipe to replenish trap sealing water. As the water level in the tank nears the top of the overflow pipe, the float closes the inlet valve, completing the cycle. Okay, so all of that, this is what happens in order. So this is step by step. So if you're telling how to do something, how to make a cake or how to make moccasins or how to skin a moose or anything like that, when you are writing that paragraph, that information paragraph, you need to make sure that everything, all your details are in order. Okay, from what happens first, second, third, fourth, etc. until the end. Okay, so this passage is an extract, so it's not a complete passage, from Reader's Digest entire do-it-yourself manual. It states that flushing a toilet sends water moving through its system. Even if you're not a fan of flush toilets, you may find it educational. So it just tells you basically what happens when you flush it, what happens in the flush tank when you flush your toilet. So again, everything is in order from beginning to end. Okay, here's another example of an information paragraph. So this paragraph, the topic sentence, good health requires a balanced diet, plenty of exercise, and a positive attitude. So when I read this paragraph, I know that it's going to be about good health, and I know it's going to talk about eating a balanced diet, getting plenty of exercise, and it's going to be about having a positive attitude. So those three things are what's going to be talked about in this paragraph. So first, to keep the body strong, it is important to have a balanced, nutritious diet. Okay, so right there, balanced diet. For example, so now what does balanced, nutritious diet mean? Well, I'm going to tell you. For example, it is important to eat many kinds of fruits and vegetables. Second, getting a lot of exercise. So there's plenty of exercise. Getting a lot of exercise is very important for keeping a strong body and burning off fat. So I didn't just say getting a lot of exercise is very important. I'm explaining it. It's important for keeping a strong body and burning off fat. For instance, swimming is an excellent way to exercise and have fun at the same time. Okay, so lots of information there about exercise. And then third, having a positive attitude. The third thing that I mentioned in my topic sentence, having a positive attitude is the best way to keep a healthy mind and body. And then again, for example, an optimist is usually healthier than a pessimist. So an optimist is a person who has a positive outlook on life, pessimist, negative. Okay, then I've got I've talked about my three things: balanced diet, plenty of exercise, positive attitude, given examples of it, for example, for instance. And now I'm going to end my paragraph. And I'm saying, in conclusion, eating the right foods, which is a balanced diet, being physically active, which is plenty of exercise, and thinking positive thoughts, which is positive attitude, are the best ways to stay healthy. Okay, so topic sentence, concluding sentence, basically saying the same thing, but just using different words. Okay, so again, an information paragraph. I haven't, in the information paragraphs that I've written so far, the one about the truck, the one we just did, toilet flushing, and this one here about good health, I haven't said the word I once. So remember, information paragraphs, you don't say I. Okay, here's another information paragraph, another example. So this one, topic sentence, roasting a chicken is very simple. So I know when I read that this paragraph is going to be about how to roast a chicken and how easy it is. So in the body paragraphs or the supporting sentences, I'm saying the only ingredients you need for a perfect roasted chicken are the chicken, some salt, and an onion or lemon to stuff in the chicken. So the ingredients that I need, or the items that I need, and then once you have your ingredients, rub salt on the outside of the chicken and let it sit at room temperature for 1 hour. Preheat the oven to 450 degrees. After the chicken has been salted for 1 hour, stuff it with the onion or lemon and put it in the oven. Roast it for 15 minutes per pound. Once the chicken is done, pull it out of the oven and let it rest for at least 10 minutes. Okay, so telling you how to roast a chicken. And then the concluding sentence, after that, you will have a perfect roasted chicken for you and your family to enjoy. Roasted chicken is an easy recipe to try at your next meal. So what was my topic sentence? Roasting a chicken is very simple. My concluding sentence, roasted chicken is an easy recipe to try at your next meal. So same thing. I'm just rewording it. Okay, so in this example, roasting a chicken is very simple is the topic sentence. Then we have in purple the supporting details, and the last sentence sums up the point of the paragraph with a conclusion. So there is your information paragraph about how to roast a chicken. Okay, so information paragraphs are not difficult to write. You just have to take your time and think about what you're writing. Get your details down first. So your ideas. So if you're talking about skinning a moose, okay, just write them down in point form, the things that you have to do. Well, first of all, you have to get the moose, and then what do you do next? I have no clue about how to skin a moose, but anyway, so you would put down what you need to do. Okay, or if you're making moccasins, what do you need to do to make moccasins? First of all, you have to gather all the materials that you need. Make sure you have everything. And then after that, you need your patterns. Do your bead working first. And then, cut out the pieces that you need for the foot part. And so you do it step by step. But again, like I said, you're not saying, I do this, I do that. It's general. You can say you, okay, the only ingredients you need. Once you have you can use you and your, those pronouns, but you can't use I in an information paragraph. Okay, so here, some practice with writing an information paragraph. So write a well-constructed information paragraph, one paragraph only, on one aspect of the topic below. So this aspect will become the main idea of your paragraph. From the 12 points below, choose at least 4 as supporting details to develop your main idea. In your paragraph, include a topic sentence, supporting details, and a concluding sentence. You must use the information from the list. Okay, so all of these sentences are about hockey. So NHL stands for National Hockey League. The NHL was founded in 1917. The original 6 era refers to the years 1942 to 1967, when there were only 6 teams in the NHL: Boston Bruins, Chicago Blackhawks, Detroit Red Wings, Montreal Canadiens, New York Rangers, and Toronto Maple Leafs. The expansion era refers to the years 1967 to 1992, when teams were added to the original 6, thus expanding the NHL. By the end of the expansion era, the number of teams in the NHL had expanded from 6 teams to 22 teams. The modern era refers to the years 1992 to the present, as the NHL continued to grow. The league has grown from 22 teams to 30 teams. Hockey has been an Olympic sport since 1920. Until 1988, professional hockey players from the NHL were not allowed to compete in the Olympics. The Miracle on Ice refers to the medal round game at the 1980 Olympics, where the United States beat the Soviet Union, who were the favorites to win the gold. Canada last won the gold medal in 2002 in Salt Lake City. Hockey is a contact sport, and the chances of injury are high. Head injuries account for almost 80% of all hockey injuries. So all of that information is about hockey. But if you're writing one paragraph, you're not going to include all of that. So you have to look through the information and pick out what is more closely related. Okay, so these 2 sentences here, for example, are about injuries when playing hockey. So we need to look back and see, well, are there any other ones about injuries? No, there's not. So we could use that, and we could say that hockey is in hockey there are chances of getting injured. And then you could use this information, these 2 sentences. You can add a bit more if you want. But you would just be talking about injuries. Okay, Olympics. So hockey has been an Olympic sport since 1920. Until 1988, professional hockey players from the NHL were not allowed to play. Miracle on Ice. So let me show you a different color. These 4 sentences are basically about hockey in the Olympics. So we could write an information paragraph on that. Okay, then we have these 3 sentences, original 6, expansion era, and modern era, which are all about the expansion of NHL. Okay, and then we've got the NHL stands for National Hockey League, and the NHL was founded in, I need to use a different color, in 1917. Okay, so, we've broken the information all up into different subtopics, and these could each be a separate paragraph. Okay, so we could have, if we look at it, we've got 4 different colors. We've got the purple, the red, green, and the blue. So that could be 4 different paragraphs. So we just want to write one now. So we're going to choose one set of sentences to write a paragraph about. So for example, if we take this one here, the green one, hockey has been an Olympic sport since 1920. Till 1988, professional hockey players from the NHL were not allowed to compete in the Olympics. The miracle on ice refers to the medal round game at the 1980 Olympics, where the United States beat the Soviet Union, who were the favorites to win gold. Canada last won gold medal in 2002 in Salt Lake City. So, okay, so now we've got that. So what would our topic sentence be? It's all about hockey in the Olympics. But we can't say for our topic sentence, hockey in the Olympics, because that's not a complete sentence. It's a title. So for our topic sentence, we could say, hockey is a is one of the top Olympic, oops, not a Q, O-L-Y-M-P-I-C, Olympic competitions or Olympic sports. I can't fit it in there. Okay, so that would be our topic sentence. And then, after we write that sentence, hockey is one of the top Olympic competitions, then we can say, give it some more information. Hockey has been an Olympic sport since 1920. And if you have more information about that, who introduced it to the Olympics or why it was introduced to the Olympics or something like that, you can add that in there. Then your next sentence might be, until 1988, professional hockey players from the NHL were not allowed to compete in the Olympics. Before 1988, only non-professional hockey players could compete. Then you can say the miracle on ice refers to the medal round game at the 1980 Olympics, where the United States beat the Soviet Union, who were the favorites to win the gold. So, and then you can say something else about that. And then you can say Canada last won the gold medal in 2002 in Salt Lake City. It was a disappointment, or has been disappointing since 2002 that Canada has not won another game. Or you might say Canada came close to winning the gold medal game in whatever year, blah, blah, blah. And then your concluding sentence, thus or therefore or in conclusion, hockey is a favorite Olympic competition for countries throughout the world, or something like that. Okay, so all of your sentences are about hockey in the Olympics. So that's what you're doing there. Okay, so like I said, it's important to, so if we go to key question 9, on the bottom of page, or on page 65, sorry, this is where you're going to brainstorm. You're going to put your ideas down. Okay, so your topic could be hockey, or it could be, let's say, hunting. Okay, well, what hunting for what? So you could put down geese, moose. For hunting, you might be the equipment that you need, might be the area that you're going in, or whatever. So what about hunting? And then once you've done that, then you're going to pick one of those topics. Are you just going to talk about your hunting equipment? Are you going to talk about where you hunt? Are you going to talk about hunting for geese? Or are you going to talk about hunting for moose? Then on the next page is where you're going to do your rough draft. So this is basically you're going to write your sentences, put them in order. And then on the next page, you're going to write your final copy. So you're going to look at what you wrote in your rough draft, to make changes, add stuff, delete stuff, look at spelling mistakes, all that stuff. And then step 3 is your final copy, where you're going to have no mistakes in your writing. And then on the last page is the rubric that I will be using to grade your paragraph. Okay, so that is it for our class for today, and that's it for lesson 1. So that means, like I said, you need to get all of your key questions for lesson 1 completed and sent out to me for marking, because next week we will be starting on lesson 2.